Okay, welcome everyone to Venture Unknown, Episode 1. I'm Alex,
I'm Lori.
and our podcast, a little bit about our podcast is that basically every episode we try something new each episode, and we have a specific category. This week is anime, and we each recommend something that each of us have experience within that category. For instance, for this week,
Oh, this week we did anime, which is super exciting because I'm like really new to like this whole like anime animation shows and stuff like that. Like I got into it like this past summer. Like how long
yeah,
have you been watching anime?
that's crazy to me because I've been watching anime for like 15, 16 years now. So I've been
Like
into it a long time. Granted, I actually didn't watch a lot of anime. Like, I only watched Dragon Ball for a very, very long time. But I didn't, like, watch anime until, like, the general term, if you know what I mean.
yeah, I totally get you. Like Dragon Ball is like one of like very well known like shows. I even knew about it too, but like never really watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really aware what anime was till like years later, and now more recently it became very popular, and a lot of people have been talking about it through like Instagram, Discord,
Oh,
um,
yeah. It's definitely
even
become a lot more mainstream.
yeah, it did. It's crazy. Like I never really got into it till like COVID and stuff, so like
Uh-huh.
it's pretty cool, and shows
It,
are really good
yeah,
though.
there's plenty of content to get into.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
yeah.
So for this week, we basically each recommended ourselves, each other two different animes. So I recommended Lori two, and she recommended me two.
Yeah,
And
I recommended Alex. Let me remember. Bungou Stray Dogs and
mhm,
Toilet Bound Hanako.
yes, those were pretty interesting. We'll get into sort of our reviews of them here in a little bit. I recommended Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, of course. Don't want to go with 2003's Fullmetal Alchemist. So I recommended Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Erased to Lori. And so yeah, I feel like we have a very diverse sort of catalog of anime to get into today, but each of us watched only 4 episodes of the show,
Ooh,
which
one problemo. I only watched 2 episodes per show.
oh, okay. So
No, love the shows. Just like with life and stuff. It's
yeah,
like
it
very
happens.
busy and
Okay.
stuff.
So
But yeah, but no.
we both have at least watched 2 episodes of each anime. I have watched a little more. I watched 4 episodes of both of the animes. So I watched 4 episodes
Ooh,
of Bungo Stray Dogs and 4 episodes of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
does this mean
Um,
that you really liked it?
I did really like it. I have a lot to get into. Um, I took notes while I was writing, as you know.
Oh,
Um,
I took notes in my head. That's
yes,
how it works.
yes. I am really excited to get into these shows. What is the first one we have on our list? It seems like that would be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Hmm.
Now, what, Lori, as someone who loves this show, I really, I want to hear what you think.
Okay, first impression. Very. I will say in the beginning, I was like, okay. I was when I saw the art of like and the animation looked cool, but like not really something I would watch.
Hmm.
But I'm like, no, let's give it a chance. I was recommended this. Let's go for it. Watched the first 2 episodes. I was very intrigued, very interesting. I loved the humor. It was all there. Like yeah, like what I learned is like don't judge a book for its by its cover because it was actually a really good show. And honestly, I'm gonna binge watch this show this whole weekend that's coming up. She loved it. We watched it together. It's all good. Like I liked it. I liked the storyline. I liked the art and everything. And anything that had to do with the history of the alchemist, like damn, this is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah, definitely.
I hope they do like a live action or somewhat like this, but probably not because anime and all that stuff. But
typically,
yeah,
typically the live action stuff is not great for anime. Like it
yeah.
typically doesn't go well. But yeah, I totally get your point. What do you think is the strongest point of the show? so far.
So far.
Like, your favorite aspect.
Humor. I love the humor.
Yeah? I totally
Yeah,
get
the way they make fun. One of the main characters, like, hi. What's his name again? Ed?
Edward. Yeah.
Edward. Yes, it's just so funny to me how they compare him with his little brother just because little brother's, like, all metal and, like, in his suit and stuff like that. And they always compare, like he's the big brother and not him. And he, like, gets all mad and stuff. And I'm like, this is so funny. Literally, to be honest, I thought he was the big brother. I thought he was the alchemist, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Until they clarified it in the first 2 episodes. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, I would have thought the same thing as other characters.
Yeah, no. I also really enjoy the humor as well. For me, you haven't had as much of a taste with the 2 episodes of the story, but man, the story as you continue going, that's probably my favorite part of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Its world building is really good, and so I'm excited to see how your interest in the show changes as you continue to watch it.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch more about it. Also, like, the whole, like, situation with the dad. I'm like, what's going on here? That history. I would have more into it, but, like, seems like Edward's not really fond of him.
Yeah.
So, like, oof.
There's
like,
definitely some...
Huh?
Sorry, there's definitely some intrigue going on there, is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to know, like, where is he? Why did he show up for, like, the mom's funeral and stuff? Like, what's going on? But yeah, I have to see very soon.
Something you'll have to find out. Yeah.
Am I gonna be upset or am I gonna be happy or what? Or you can't spoil.
I'll let you figure it out. I would never spoil outright, but if I were to just say exactly, like, word for word what it is, you would have no idea. And that's not a knock against you, it's just you need the context of the show to understand what was going on at the time.
Okay.
So,
I see how it is.
that is something...
I see how it is. Alright, moving on. What did you think of my show that I recommended?
Okay, so the first one I want to get into is Bungou Stray Dogs.
I would pronounce it. My bad, audience.
It's alright. And in terms of the plot, every episode I watched, there was something new to be intrigued about. Now, I watched up until the Portside Mafia did their first raid on the HQ of the good guys, but every single time that the characters were on screen, there was such good chemistry between them. Like, because the thing is that there are a lot of shows where you have this ensemble cast, and they try and make jokes, but it just doesn't land because there's not really this flow between the characters. And I feel like Bungou Stray Dogs has that flow.
It does.
Yeah. I also really like the sound design of the show, which, spoiler alert, is a criticism I have towards Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, but we will get into that later. But the sound design for Bungou Stray Dogs is really good. Everything feels impactful. Same with the fights. The fights are also just a huge strength for this show.
Oh yeah, they're really interesting to watch. And so intense because, like, you just never know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I like it so much. Like, oof.
I remember when, I believe the character's name is Danzai. Danzai versus Atsushi in the warehouse, episode 1. There was a moment where the fighting, they even have little details down to where Atsushi just turned into a tiger and he's fighting Danzai and pushes him back, and you could just see the impact of the push in the ground. His feet were sliding, but they were also shaking. It actually felt like there was a tangible weight to the characters in the world, which just made the fight scene that much more enjoyable. It felt like the characters were connected to the world rather than just separate layers on top of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get you. That's why it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, because sometimes there are certain fight scenes in anime where it doesn't really feel like the characters are actually existing inside the world that they're in.
Mhm.
An example I have, I don't know if you would know this, is Black Clover. The fight
No.
scenes in that show, to me, don't have very much weight. It doesn't feel like the characters are actually physically in the world that they're in due to the way that they're animated. And Bungou Stray Dogs really does fight scenes well, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, they do, comparing to like other shows.
Yeah, so those are definitely the strengths. Maybe not a criticism, but yeah, I know. Big
Oh
big
no,
bad
what
evil.
is it?
But sort of a nitpick, I guess, if you will. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it when like characters turn into anthropomorphic, or maybe not anthropomorphic, but like when characters shapeshift into animals, it's just not an interesting power to me. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I have to agree with you. Even though it's one of my favorite shows, I
yeah,
agree.
so
Not an interesting power. I don't know why.
so in that regard, I'm kind of disinterested in Atsushi's fight scenes, but every other character's, Danzai also seems to have a very overpowered ability, being he can neutralize everyone else's powers.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's just a slight nitpick that I have towards the show. It's really nothing major though. Overall, I really enjoyed the 4 episodes I watched of this show.
That's good. At least you liked it.
Yeah. What's sort of
Despite
your,
that little critique.
as someone who's watched the show a little more than I have, what's sort of your feelings about it?
I don't know. It's been a while since I last watched it, but
Mm-hmm.
I just like the twist about it, but like and stuff. I do agree with you with the whole like shape shifting stuff. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it reminds me like Twilight vibes in some way with the werewolf and shit. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, but it gets interesting more later on.
Okay.
I don't really want to say much, but
Yeah, no, totally. But yeah.
no, totally agree with you. Honestly, good show. I recommend it.
What about Erased?
Okay. Honestly, when I first started watching these two shows, I watched The Alchemist first and then Erased.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when I first watched Alchemist, I was like, okay. Because I only watched the first episode, because I watched one episode each night.
Okay,
And then,
interesting.
And then, like, the second night, it got me really intrigued. But with Erased, it got me intrigued right away in the first episode. I don't know what about it. It was just all out interesting. Main character, like, very gloomy, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's like that's how life is. Like, then comes death and someone. And I'm like, I can't relate to it because I feel very dead inside. Maybe that's why I was super intrigued with this show. But then, like, I didn't know it had to do with something with the soul, like, powers and stuff, and going back in time and fixing it. That's a little annoying for me in a way. But at the same time, I was really, like, interested. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, what's that situation that he has to fix? And then they show it, and he ends up in the hospital. I'm like, ooh, this is getting a bit more better and stuff. And
Can you care to elaborate on him ending up in the hospital?
ooh, yeah. So what happened was that I guess this truck driver was driving by. I didn't see like there was like something weird happening. Like, is he just going back in time? Like, this is it one of those like shows that he keeps going back in time over and over again, living the same day? But it's actually not. He's going back in time to fix it.
Yeah.
So what he fixed in that situation to me seemed pretty normal, but it turns out the truck driver had like a heart attack, and like the truck was driving by itself, and this like little kid was about to cross the street, and that truck was about to hit the little kid, but no, he managed to like stop it in a way, and then it actually unfortunately made him like end up in the hospital. Just unfortunate, but at least he saved a life, which is good.
Yeah.
He got injured all the way, but he did something good. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Like, I'm really interested to see where this show's gonna go on. And then as more I've watched it, I noticed that there was like a big time jump, like going back in the past, trying to fix something about like a murder and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, like this is a major jump because why did it go from present time, like fixing situations in the present time, then going all the way back in the past? What's going on?
Yeah,
Like,
it's super interesting. I love Erased.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so sad about the whole mom.
Well, that's actually, this isn't a spoiler, but that is actually like why he jumped so far back. Basically, it's because his mother's death can only be fixed by going that far back in time.
Oh, I had like someone like an idea in my head, like maybe it has to do with his mom. Because it's weird how after her murder, all of a sudden he goes back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of had an idea like it has to do something with the mom. It's just weird how it went all the way back.
What did you think of the opening? The opening to the show, the opening song.
It's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my only comment.
Fair enough. I, for one, it's probably one of my favorite openings of all time. Same with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's opening. Again by Yui is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's, and I believe it's called Riri by Asian Kung Fu Generation is Erased's opening. And Asian Kung Fu Generation, they do a lot of other anime openings. They've done one or two for Naruto, I believe, and a couple of other ones as well. And their music is so good. I love the opening.
I don't know what's it about anime shows, but they have honestly the best openings. Like I know I don't understand like the music or like the lyrics in it. Like it's so catchy.
I agree.
About it, they don't spoil anything. Like they released like I think from Toy Bound, I think they released like some clues in the intro. Like in the beginning, you won't really see much, but like I don't know if you noticed, but the more episodes you watch, there's like a new detail coming out in the intro. I'm not even sure if you noticed it yet.
Yeah, I definitely I love that about anime. One of the anime that I think does the best in terms of revealing stuff in the openings is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yes, I am a JoJo's fan. Yes, we are annoying as hell.
No.
But yeah, I feel like JoJo's openings do a really good job at it. Practically shows you almost everything in the entire season, but you have no idea what it means until the end of the season. And I like that. It's like hidden in plain sight almost. And I think that adds to it. I think Erased's opening is like that too.
Ooh, okay, I'll make sure to be
to sort of pay attention to that. Yeah, and there are always some opening changes, and Erased has an opening change. What? Very, very subtle, and it's towards the end of the actual show. So you wouldn't have come across it yet, but towards the end, the symbolism in the change of the opening itself really like lends itself to the show. It adds a whole lot to it. So, the final show we have to discuss is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
Honestly, this is like my number one favorite show, so
it is.
I'm really nervous what's your reaction to it.
It is really good. For a general plot synopsis, essentially, a girl hears a rumor about one of the 7 wonders of the school, and it's a ghostly girl that can grant her wish if she summons her. And that girl is Hanako-kun in the girl's bathroom. Well, when the main character goes to summon Hanako-kun, she finds out that it's a boy in a school uniform, and basically the entire plot turns into a monster of the week, let's protect all of the wonders of the school. And I really like the plot because it goes off of rumor system, so basically all of the spread of information, like in school rumors, like, oh, if you step on the fourth step of the basement floor, you'll be transported to the other world. Basically, any rumor spread around the school like that becomes true. And I think that's a super interesting premise. I am a huge Persona fan. Persona is a video game series. And Persona 2, Innocent Sin, also has a very similar premise where the plot, basically, rumors come to life. And I think it's just such a unique take on it. And it allows the show to go on forever, almost, because there's so much longevity in the show. And I really like that about the plot.
Yeah, honestly. That's what I like about it. Like every rumor they try to like fix it in some way, or there's like a hint, like little like secret, or like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about. I can't really explain it well, but I don't know. It just keeps going on and on and on. Like I want to see like what's gonna happen to their last quest and stuff, because it's still airing and stuff like that right now. They're like a little hiatus right now, but
right.
I'm just curious, like what's gonna happen.
I think it does a good job at, how do I say this? It allows every episode to be its own unique, contained adventure. And I think that's fun. It's fun to have that to not necessarily turn your brain off. I don't want to do that sort of disservice to this show. But it's a nice show to not have to think super hard. And that's not a criticism against it. It's just a fun show full of adventure. And by God, it is beautiful to look at. Absolutely stunning. The character designs are all super distinguishable and unique. The color usage in that show, it's so nice. Every background painting, or every background shot, looks like a watercolor painting.
Right? That's why I fell in love with the show. Like, I haven't watched it yet. I just looked at the cover art. I'm like, this is so pretty. Like, I really want this in my room and tech stuff. If I was in elementary, I'm like, I'll be so obsessed with this show and having, like, everything. Everything. Like, it's just so amazing. And then when I started watching the show, like, okay, I'm in love. This is my number one.
Yeah. The character design reminds me a lot of two separate shows, and sort of the world design. Soul Eater a little bit. But for the most part, Demon Slayer. Just the boldness of the lines that outlines the characters, as well as the really expressive face and the colorful eyes, it really reminds me of Demon Slayer. But in terms of the background, I think Hanako-kun is actually more interesting because they play with colors so much more. And I really appreciate that about this show. It is just so nice to look at. Unfortunately, one of my critiques is, while it is amazing to look at, it is not as amazing to hear. The voice acting is really well done, in my opinion. I watched the subbed to both of these shows, Bungou Stray Dogs and Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. And the voice acting for the Japanese sub is really good. And that's actually a really good point towards Bungou Stray Dogs too. The voice acting was amazing in that show, but it's also good in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. However, the sound design, the general like sound effects, and the sort of music balancing, it's just underwhelming. The sound effects sound a little generic, and in fight scenes, it sort of takes me out personally, and it's okay. Here's the thing. It's not bad. It's serviceable. But it's not great. And so that's my criticism of this show, is mainly the sound design. I would have liked to hear more impactful, louder sound effects, because a lot of the sound effects feel muted, in my personal opinion. I also really like the next episode previews that they do in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, where it's the girl like announcing the next rumor each episode. It makes it so much more interesting because it actually feels like the next episode announcement is part of the actual episode instead of just being like a promo, it allows for the rumor spreading to feel like it's part of the world. And I really like that.
That's what I like about it too. Like, you just kind of get like a little glimpse of what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, exactly.
A little hurt though about the whole audio situation with the ship. It's all good.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, yeah.
That's so hurtful, but no.
No,
Alright.
yeah. It's not that I dislike the audio. It's just I feel like compared to shows that really wowed me, Fire Force being one of them, in terms of sound design, it's really underwhelming. But the thing is it's not something that if you weren't specifically looking for it, you would be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I can't tell if it's just me being nitpicky because I've seen a lot of anime and I care about sound design and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that I like more like the art and like.
Yeah, and trust me, I really appreciate visuals too. And boy, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, amazing, just amazing in that department.
Cool.
How do you feel about the show overall?
I love it. Storyline, characters, development. I feel like the main characters still have a lot to learn. I feel like she's still boy crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, come on.
It's almost like she learns her lesson the first episode, but then she just doesn't learn the lesson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes me a little mad, but I also want to see, like, is this girl gonna finally get into her head?
Yeah.
I don't think much about it, but still a good show. I love it. Yeah, and I really love the adventures they go to. Have you encountered one of those, like, I forgot the name of it. It's called Momoko, something like that. Those little pink, like, rabbits or pink.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
they're cute.
Right? They're
Yeah.
the cute little things. It makes it mad and not so cute. Unless you give them, like, candy and stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
cute little things. Honestly, that's why it made me love the show more.
Yeah, mascots, stuff like that definitely boosts a show's, like, ratings in my book. I think having a cute mascot is nice.
Yeah, anything with that makes it better. Which one's your favorite from the two of them?
From the two I watched,
yeah,
while the art is beautiful in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, and incredibly visually stunning, I think the plot and the voice acting and the overall charisma and chemistry between the main cast in Bungou Stray Dogs makes me more intrigued to continue watching. I'm more willing to be like, what happens next? I need to see. Whereas Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is, oh, this is cute, this is fun, this looks visually appealing, but it's like, I don't have that same, like, need to see the next episode.
Oh.
That's sort of my take. What about you? Between Erased and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, two really highly rated animes in the community, which one would you consider better?
It's so hard because they're so both good, but I believe I'm gonna go with Erase on this.
Interesting.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I love the Alchemist one. But
yeah.
I don't know about Erase. It's just like there's so much to it. I don't know, like the mystery behind it. But also, Alchemist does have a little bit of its mystery too, as well.
Definitely.
I feel like since I'm a person like mysteries and stuff like that, and like I feel like I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm gonna try to finish that one, I think, over the weekend, and after that, I'm gonna go back to Alchemist. Or I'll probably do both at the same time.
Sure.
We'll see where my mood takes me, but for sure, I want to like finish off that show, even though it only has like 24 episodes, I believe.
Which one?
Erased.
Erased has 12.
Oh,
So it's actually really short.
Aw, I'll be so sad.
But it's good. It's good, but
short.
short.
But I have another show after that one. So it's all good.
And Fullmetal Alchemist is like 60, so you got plenty of that to watch.
Ooh.
Thank you all for listening. Be sure to check out the next episode.
Ooh, which is very exciting because the next topic we're going to talk about is music.
Pretty fun. I am looking forward to recommending some out there albums, which is what we will be doing. We will be doing 2 albums each and sort of talking and discussing them. So I'm excited to recommend Lori System of a Down, personally.
Ooh, I'm excited for you to listen to Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, oh boy.
I'm sure you probably heard about it.
I have.
I can't wait for
that's
this.
That's gonna be a very interesting reaction, I think.
All his O's are so good. It was so hard for me to say like which one to like listen to.
Yeah.
But I thought this was like a good choice. Very popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everyone. Well, this has been Venture Unknown, Episode 1, Anime. I'm Alex.
Lori.
And we are signing off.